Chiefs and the Eagles in the city of brotherly love. Now, early in the week, we were looking at possibly some rainy conditions here in Philadelphia. Not the case anymore. It'd be about 75 degrees at kickoff with light winds, no precipitation in the forecast. So it looks like we might be getting some scoring. Opened up at 5.5 and 6.5, depending where you're shopping at. Now up to 7 across the board. And I tend to agree with it here. There's not a lot to love about the Philadelphia Eagles from what you saw on Monday Night Football, particularly from the offensive side of the ball. Didn't do enough, didn't run the football enough. They didn't play well against the San Francisco 49ers on offense either. They did have a pretty good week against the Atlanta Falcons, but a little bit banged up on the offensive line, losing Isaac Seumalo at guard. So now you're down your guard with Seumalo and your other guard already with Brandon Brooks. Landon Dickerson filled in on Monday Night Football there at the young kid out of Alabama. But you're going against a horrendous defense here for the Kansas City Chiefs. You're going against the Eagles right now. Look like they can be had by any aerial assault you pick out. And you know who's coming to town? The Kansas City Chiefs. But I can't get over this. It always looks so easy to take the Chiefs, and the sports books, they love the Chiefs. Typically, you would hate, like, man, the Chiefs just maul everybody and cover every spread no matter what. That's not the case. 1-7 down the stretch last year, 0-3 already to start the season. Now going on the road and are a 7-point favorite. Let's also keep in mind, this sounds interesting when you say it. The 1-2 Eagles are playing the 1-2 Kansas City Chiefs. It's usually the 3-0 Chiefs in September, the 4-0 Chiefs in September. Nobody can stop them right now. I think they are going to score points here against the Eagles on Sunday. But, Esteban, if you're behind the scenes, the play that I already fired on today at BetMGM, that is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles team total 21.5 minus 140. And I'm taking the over on that. It's not that I think the Eagles can win this game, but if you have to look at it from a competitive standpoint in this one, if the Philadelphia Eagles win, do you think they scored 17 points and won? If the Eagles scored 26 in this game, there's not even a guarantee that they won or even covered this football game. So I do think Jalen Hurts has a bounce-back performance. That team is god-awful against the run, god-awful against the pass, and you also will have a running mate in the Chiefs. Chiefs ain't slowing this game down. They're going to try to have an aerial assault on the Philadelphia Eagles. Nice weather, good scoring conditions. I see points. But if you're saying, well, Donnie, if you see a lot of points from the Chiefs, why don't you just go with them? Look, I'm not about to lay 31.5, 32 points here on a team total, which means I need 35. It's like when we joke about, outside of Colorado and baseball, hey, the Dodgers are 6.5. Yeah, I'll pass. I think they get it, but that's ridiculous here. So I'm going to take the team low on man on the total poll. BetMGM 21.5. I think it goes over, Kyle. Your thoughts here on the Chiefs and the Eagles?
I think that's very interesting, and there's no doubt about it, especially on the perimeter. Trevarius Ward and Mike Hughes have been absolutely torched for Kansas City. That defense is really, really bad, plain and simple, and they did nothing to really address it during the offseason. I know they tried to address that offensive line. Now, are the Chiefs a better football team here? Yes. Are the Chiefs pissed and 1-2 and desperate to win? Absolutely. Do I think the Chiefs win this game? Of course I do. But you just can't trust the Chiefs at a touchdown. You just can't. They don't cover that spread. There's something like 2-12 or 3-12 over the last 15 games against the spread, while being 10-4, 10-5 in terms of straight up winning or losing. So that kind of tells you the story. When they win much closer than Vegas gives them credit for, we used to call it Vegas. I guess the books give them credit for. This is a teaser spot, folks. I love that Chiefs teaser down to 1.5. I think that's where they get it done. If you want to bet the Chiefs side, don't do it full game at a touchdown or over a touchdown. Do it in the first half at 3.5 or 4. I do think they're up in the first half. The Eagles look like they start, well, they don't look like, they do start very, very slow and get some garbage points at the end. Not in love with anything that I see out of Jalen Hurts. Does not look like a professional quarterback to me. I'm sorry. He just doesn't. He cannot get it done with his arm. If that kid needs to drop back and make a play with his arm, it just doesn't happen. He looks like basically a wasted second-round pick to me. Do I think they can score against a terrible Chiefs defense? Absolutely. But if I'm betting a side here, I'm doing it in the first half. Getting it under a touchdown. The Chiefs need to prove to me, before I lay anything on them at a touchdown or more, that they can cover that spread. They haven't done so in the last year and a half. I'll take the Chiefs first half, and I love the teaser option for the Chiefs as well. And I do agree with that team total. You'll probably get some late points here. All they got to do is get to 24. And if they even want to remotely come close to covering, they're going to have to get there, because the Chiefs are going to be able to throw on this secondary.
Yeah, it'll be good because Hurts threw for 326 on Monday night, and the Cowboys, to me, it's funny how we say this now. The Cowboys have a way better defense than the Chiefs do. The Chiefs just don't have a pass rush. We didn't think Dallas had a pass rush, and all of a sudden they just made one up. And look, the Dallas Cowboys should have beaten Tampa Bay. They beat the Chargers, and they beat the Eagles. That's a pretty good football team here. And again, it's hard to say. The Chiefs don't cover any spreads, which is incredible because you just run the highlights in your head about the Chiefs like they blow everybody out. No, they don't. They certainly don't do it. And also keep in mind, the Chiefs are 1-2. It's hard to say. The Chiefs are 1-2 on this season. Amazing stuff here. But I do see points both sides. You're going to get great weather conditions. And I do think both of these teams are able to put up some points this one. Also, I tweeted out earlier, yesterday, a prop bet in this game, Miles Sanders rushing prop in this game. I think he goes over. And I'm such an old man that even though I tweet tickets out and put them all down, I think the exact number was 55.5. Just trying to scroll back to say it, but I think that's what it was. No doubt in my mind. It's going to be force-fed the football, particularly in the first half. I would be shocked if Miles Sanders had 15 or more carries against that porous run defense. I think he gets it done. Also, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he might also have a chance to have a decent ground game in this one as well. Let's keep moving forward, though. Spending a lot of time on some of these fun games. This one's not going to be a fun game.